On this week's episode, we talk about the 355.
And other pop culture news.
We just got back from the theater where we got to watch a new spy action thriller called The 355.
Yes, it's an all-female super spy. I wouldn't say super spy. Spy. Eh?
I thought they were pretty super.
Yeah?
Don't you think?
Sure. Oh,
They got totally cut off from their respective agencies and still pulled off.
but I mean, if they're
Remarkable
competent
feats.
spies, they still did it, you know? I mean, they are dealing with a world-ending threat. So, yeah, sure. Super spies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just say it. Because sometimes we don't say it and then we accidentally
Yeah.
drop something. So, yeah, let's just... Yeah, spoiler alert. So, the title of this film is a reference to a female spy who's part of Washington's network of spies that helped win the American Revolution way back in the old 1780s. And while we don't know her identity, the code system that they used always called her Agent 355.
Do we know why that number?
Yeah, well, it was just the code within their code. 355 was the code for lady,
Oh, okay.
and so because she was a lady, they called her 355.
Okay.
So I guess it could have been multiple. There's a lot. The Wikipedia article is short and vague because there's just not a lot that we know about her. But anyway, that's where the title comes from, and any connection to that history, there isn't one. So like you said, it's about several female spies. The film is full of, there's a lot of tropes, a lot of predictable moments, a couple of like big plot holes, but overall, I super enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty much anything you could ask for from a spy movie. There were gadgets and high stakes and action scenes and all that.
Yeah, it was fun. It has a huge cast.
Yeah.
And for me, probably the only issue. I mean, there's plot holes, but nothing crazy. And there's some cliches that are overdone or... Anyways.
But they kind of go with the genre.
Yeah.
They don't have to, but they do.
But the predictable in some moments, so super predictable. Actually, the whole thing is very predictable.
Yeah, there's one twist that I didn't see coming.
You know, it wasn't.
I did not think that Bing Bing Fan's character, whose name escapes me at the moment, I didn't think that she was actually a good guy. She seemed pretty sinister.
Oh, okay.
So that flip I didn't see coming.
Yeah, but nothing. But no cliches like, oh, one of them's gonna betray them and be a bad guy. The betrayal comes from a different character, but again, the betrayal cliche happens in this one.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan being a good guy in the beginning and turning out to be a bad guy, which is like, oh, really? The guy just Bucky.
Yeah.
He's being Bucky again.
To be fair,
and fun enough,
he could be suffering from Soviet brainwashing. We don't know.
Yeah, well, you know what? The whole in my head I was laughing because you know how Bucky, after everything happens in the Winter Soldier, he ends up in the ice. In this one, he ends up in the ice because he's poisoned by ice.
That's right.
Anyways, so for me, there was some issues in the pacing with the movie because we know from the start there are this group of women, and not only from the poster but from the trailer.
Yeah.
And it takes a while for them to get together and to actually working together. But besides that doesn't ruin the movie. It's just something that kind of bugged me. But besides that, everybody had their time to develop, even if a little bit of backstory for the characters. We get a little bit of depth on each of the characters. They are all interesting. They're all charismatic. The actresses do a great job. They're all pretty and smart and competent, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Despite some of the tropes, like the whole main characters like fighting with each other and then becoming allies, and things like, or the betrayal and the inevitable glamorous party where jewelry and accessories become spy gadgets and all that. So the little things like that. There were also some nice details that, as a woman, I really enjoyed seeing, like when at one point Jessica Chastain takes off her wig and she doesn't have perfect hair underneath. Her hair is like sort of weirdly clipped to her head. We see their makeup get smudged, and their style of fighting is they have a very different combat style to like the men in the movie. So lots of things like that were I found believable. And I don't know, it was nice to see like a different portrayal of like female action heroes. And yeah, like you said, like the characters were very diverse. They took the time to give them enough depth, like to be interesting and get us all invested in it. And they did a good job of like raising the stakes as we went along. So by the time we get to the end, I felt like I really knew each of these characters. I cared about them and where they were going. But also the stakes were high enough that like I was on the edge of my seat. Like, how are they gonna edit this? I don't know. And it was just really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, despite like we said, the cliches and stuff like that, it's, if you like spy movies, this is a really good one to see.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and they're totally set up for a sequel. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe in the sequel it's gonna be more, because you don't have to explore. It's like, because there's so many characters and you have to explore backstories for all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was some of the issues with pacing, because I guess they do have to. They could not explore the past of 1 or 2. Like Diane Kruger's character. It's in a conversation in the bar, which actually the conversation in the bar is very funny, because there's this metric for woman in film, right? I can't remember
That's
the
right,
name.
the Bechdel test.
Yeah, and it's like woman talking about work. It can be about men, right?
Yeah, women have a conversation that's not about romance.
Yes.
Or dating.
And there's this bar thing is pretty much for that, if not to explore a little bit of Diane Kruger's backstory.
Pretty much the whole film checks that box.
Yeah, but that one seems to be more like, if someone would complain about it, that one is like obvious and gratuitous. That's it. You can't say this movie doesn't fit the metrics of the
Bechdel test.
The test.
But I feel like that moment, like that was like a real moment of like, okay, like now let's actually get to know each other as people and not agents.
And my issues with the pacing, there's like so that at that point everything was done, and I don't know, I don't look at my watch. I don't know how long in the movie that was. It, but it was like, okay, so this feels like the end, but it's definitely not the end.
Yeah.
Or is it? The perspective of becoming a franchise is always a thing, because this guy directed X-Men movies. He wrote X-Men movies. He wrote, he was part of a big franchise, and maybe he wants to be a part of another one. So this whole thing. So I said, maybe it's the end, and they're gonna do a sequel or trequel, and who knows. But no, definitely fun. I think that the characters did a great job, and it was kind of straight to the point. Even though there's this whole thing to explore and keeps coming back and forth, there's not a lot of things you could cut off. You maybe could split it on 2 movies, but I don't know if.
I think they'd be 2 boring movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I think the first thing you said was right, that I don't think there's a lot you could cut. You can maybe condense a couple of condense a couple of chase scenes or fight scenes, but
but that you
part
don't
of the
do.
genre.
But yeah, that you don't want to do.
And maybe this is like a gender difference
you could
phenomena. Mika, you're like,
oh,
these conversations, and I'm like, this chase scene.
Yeah, you could cut talking about conversation. You could cut like phone calls, and one calls the kids and one calls the boyfriend.
Yeah, but they had to make us. They had to get us to really care about these relationships, because then that scene at the end, or towards the end, when they're hostages, they built us. They gave us enough to care about those people.
Yeah.
So that we're really emotionally invested.
But I think they both called their families twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think once would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
What else?
I was okay, because it also starts to really emphasize that Jessica Chastain and Diane Kruger are separate.
Loners.
Yeah.
Diane Kruger especially, she's kind of like the Wolverine in the group.
She is. She's like this wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got messy hair. She pulls out. There's a few scenes where she whips out a knife. And it's whoa.
Oh, and there's about Diane Kruger and Jessica
really
Chastain. Jessica Chastain has this romance in the beginning with the guy that turns out to be the bad guy. It's not clear about Diane Kruger, but if anything, one good thing is that none of them are lesbians. Because that's this trope about a strong, competent woman. They actually lesbians. It happens all the time in pop culture media. In this case, one has a boyfriend, one is a mom. The other one had the boyfriend that she wanted to marry him, but it turns out he's really bad.
He's super evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she kept him in a prison somewhere in an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
So there's that too. So kudos for that.
I think it's another way it fulfills the Bechdel test, that none of these women are defined by their romantic relationships, homo or heterosexual. They get to stand as individuals. And
yeah, but it's I don't know details about the test, but tests or not, it happens all the time. In Batwoman, 75%, not 75, 97% of the characters, they are tough superheroes, and in action they're all lesbians. It's run Lola run, and multiplied by 1600.
That's true. So we could, if we wanted to, we could take this a step further. Something else that I enjoyed were depictions of feminine strength that were also very traditionally feminine. At the very beginning, Jessica Chastain, the very first really intense chase scene, Jessica Chastain is wearing this beautiful floral flowy dress and has long pretty hair, very soft, very feminine, not something you'd associate with strength or agility or any kind of combat skill. And she's doing violent spy action movie stuff.
Yeah,
so
she does the job. She's competent, she's strong, and she does the job, and she's a woman that, likes men. Anyways, what else?
I think that's all I've got for it. I mean,
it's fun if you saw everything there is out there to see. You should see this one.
You could see it before a lot of the things out there.
I don't know. Don't go see this before Spider-Man.
Oh, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what else? What else?
I don't remember. I'm not good at keeping track of what's
we saw
out.
Kingsman. I think Kingsman is I don't know, because it's the third one. The third one we already engaged on the Kingsman universe, so it gains on this one. What else you see? Matrix. Oh, you should see this before Matrix.
I would even say see this before Kingsman, just because we've already seen 2 other Kingsman movies, and I enjoyed this Kingsman, as you would recall, but this was something kind of different.
Yeah.
Women in a spy movie who aren't defined by sexuality. That was kind of cool.
They are sexy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's not their main purpose. Like there's no gratuitous like let me get out of the waves. The water
they kind of
off of my body.
They kind of insinuate that for future movies. You know, the bing 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 bing. She talks about this guy got intel on this guy, and one of the guys she gets intel is a guy that was flirting with Penelope. Character, whatever, Garciela. And I thought, I was like, okay, so this is the premise. Now they're gonna have super spy woman. They're gonna use their sexuality to lure the man, like Bond does. You know, it's not new. But who knows? So you don't know if it's gonna be a sequel. You don't know if they're gonna explore that or explore different things. If they're gonna explore different characters.
Yeah. I'm not hearing a lot of hype about this movie. I doubt it will get sequels because it doesn't seem to be doing like super well.
And it's not doing super well because circumstances. COVID changed this movie. Like it changed all the movies in this past 2 years. It changed the date like a lot. And of course, people are going less to the movies, and there's streaming wars going on. So
which is unfortunate. Because I do think it's worth seeing. I would love a sequel. I don't anticipate a sequel. But it is really nice to see women on screen that aren't sexual objects. Especially in this genre, because it doesn't happen very often. So, anyway, the 355. I think it's worth watching if you're into this genre, because all the cliches are just part of the genre and you just kind of enjoy them and roll with it.
It's I would say it's fun, it's entertaining. Don't expect to be amazed, because it's the same old formula.
But it's a solid formula.
But it's definitely entertainment. Is definitely fun.
I mean, James Bond has been going for decades for a reason.
It's this PG-13.
I think. Let me double check.
If not, why?
Yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. There's no a lot of violence, explicit bloody violence.
Yeah, there's plenty of violence, but there's not like a lot of gore or anything
language.
Like that. It's pretty minimal.
Good ladies, they don't curse all the time. 355 is out in the theaters everywhere.
Okay. We also saw a couple other things this week.
Yeah, we saw this HBO show. It's a miniseries, 4 episodes. So I was like, Landscapers, which honestly, I thought it was okay.
It was interesting. It's the true-ish story of a British couple who were convicted of killing her parents a few years ago and sentenced to 25 years. But it's kind of I guess the actual murder itself is pretty straightforward once you get down to brass tacks, but the way they told it was kind of different. So the wife in this murderous couple is super into like old Hollywood, old school cinema, and so they brought a lot of that into the retelling of this murder. Like there'd be moments like the fourth wall just didn't even exist. We see them like building the set, taking down the set. We hear like the director's calls. We see like cameras and all this other stuff.
So, walking to the flashback set.
Yeah, walking different sets. There's lots of like black and white scenes, but like black and white, sort of fuzzy. All the lighting is very like 1950s Hollywood-ish. I just picked a decade at random.
Yeah, it's this meta. It's like French new wave cinema. Truffaut and all the influences and references are put it there very explicitly. But I don't know, 4 hours of that to not tell. I mean, the story is the complete story. The entire story is told in the 3 or 4 lines of they have in the beginning a card saying this couple was sentenced to prison in 2014.
Yeah, I think so.
25 years in prison for the murder of these people, and they still deny it. that's it. The whole story is there.
Yeah.
So we got some details, some flashbacks, but they say it's first they say it's based on this is a true story, then they erase true and put story. So there's a lot of fantastic portrayals and elements of filmic storytelling that they use. So we don't know if it was what they say is true, if it was lies, or if it was fantasy
considerable artistic
of a crazy
license.
mind, or
Yeah.
Each episode ends with fact, true news, footage from the time, and so the mix.
So it gives you some grounding in like what actually happened.
So this mixed with reality and fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I liked the couple of cops more than the couple of criminals, because I don't know, it's like kind of over the top. It's like two big actors, Olivia Colman and I forgot the guy's name. And
Thewlis.
Yeah.
David Thewlis.
David, I think you're right. And I don't know, kind of over
something
the
like that.
top acting. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying it was good, but for me it was more interesting to see these two unknown. And they were unknown for me. I didn't know them. And they're investigating this whole thing, and it's kind of like, if anything, it's kind of meta too, because it's regular people, these unknown actors, investigating to these monsters of interpretation. Are these guys interpreting? Are these guys lying? So it puts us in the same seat as them, and they are in the same seat as us. Trying to dig deep into this. All these guys. And they celebrate when they do it, and they are like normal like us on this crazy fantastic story.
For me, the cops were very interesting, and their dynamic and all that was really fun to watch. Definitely one of the highlights. I thought this very unusual way to tell a story was intriguing. I enjoyed watching it, but then by the end I was like, wait, that was actually kind of a boring murder story. Like, with all the embellishments, it seemed like really crazy and bizarre, but really it was just this couple with a dysfunctional relationship with their in-laws who murdered them and took all their money. Like, this.
Yeah.
And so for me it feels like going to an art museum, like sometimes, especially modern art, you see some things like, okay, like that's kind of a cool idea, or that's very interesting, but it's not life-changing or anything. Like, I'm not going to hold on to this forever, if that makes sense. It was cool, it was intriguing, it's very easy to move on from.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman was great in it. I think she acted very well. This odd character who's kind of all over the map emotionally. Like, she had enough rage to like kill her parents, but then also acts just like so sweet and so polite and like, oh, sorry, I don't want to bother the police, but also I killed someone. I don't know, her performance was intriguing.
Yeah,
but life goes on.
Yeah. Landscapers is available on HBO and HBO Max. If you want to try. HBO Max also brought out today Pacemaker, which we saw the first episode. You're gonna see the other ones and talk about it, but it started as the trailers promised. Started funny, crazy funny, and HBO stuff. And we'll see what they're gonna take us. But on Netflix, we saw this other movie that's causing commotion on the awards circuit. It got nominations for Golden Globes, it got nominations for SAG, and it most likely gonna get nominations for the Oscars.
I hope so.
It's called Tick Tick Boom. What is it? Tick Tack Boom. It's Tick Tick Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Tick Tick Boom.
Tick Tick Boom.
Another true story.
And this one, I think everybody should see. This, I think, was a really good movie. this is one of those, if you described it on paper, like, it doesn't sound very good. It's like a monologue, rock musical, retrospective of a young music or theater writer dealing with stress and loss and being a struggling artist amidst the AIDS pandemic. Like, it doesn't sound very good, but it was so good. And so it was so good. I loved it. No, that's all I got for now.
No, it was good. It was good.
Names,
It's the true story of Jonathan Larson, the writer, a musical theater writer that wrote Tick Tick Boom. So the songs, the movie he wrote, the story, the stage part of the movie he wrote, and he wrote Rent, the famous musical that went forever on Broadway. And you still have remakes and revivals and movie adaptations and all that. And Andrew Garfield is the main character. Who else can we talk about it? The girlfriend is the girl from the X-Men movies. She's Storm, not the Halle Berry one, the young one. We have Brett Whitford as Steve Sondheim. We have, I think those are the biggest.
Those are probably the big names.
The biggest names.
Vanessa Hudgens is one of the singers.
Hudgens is is part of the company.
Yes. Richard Kind briefly shows up and is very funny.
Yeah. So there's that. This guy's about to turn 30, and he wants to make it in New York. He wants to make it in the music theater scenario. He's writing his musical, and he wants to deliver it before he's 30 because the great ones.
Because Sondheim was 26 when he did West Side Story.
West Side Story, and he mentioned some others, and then the movie start Tick Tick is because he's running out of time because he's becoming 30. Later in the movie, you find out that he's becoming out of time because I know subconscious he knew. He's like through his deep in his soul he knew, or he felt somehow that he had to do what he had to do in this earth because he was really running out of time. He died tragically at 35, a couple days
before the opening of Rent. Yeah. Which, what poetic tragedy.
Yeah. But it references running out of time because, again, dealing with musical theater, he has a lot of gay friends. In that time of history, they are dealing with the AIDS. I guess it's not the height. It's like the 90s, right? It was like getting better, but it was still bad. So he loses friends to it. So these people are running out of time, like he's running out of time. And also, he's running out of time to decide what to do with his life. If he wants to go with the girlfriend that wants him to work, also a friend that wants him to work, or if he wants to invest on his musical theater career.
Because he's already invested 8 years into writing this musical, Superbia, and to writing this musical and to...
That never came to be, right?
Yeah. And doing the whole struggling artist thing in New York and so Tick Tick Boom is one that Jonathan Larson wrote about his experience with Superbia and getting it getting it workshopped and the highs and the lows and the heartbreak, the disappointment, the
relationship with the girlfriend,
the relationship
friends.
Crises, and how it was this huge turning point in his life. So what the writers of the movie Tick Tick Boom did was kind of take that musical, which is, it's not really it's basically like him and the musicians and singers, just on stage singing, and then he gets up and talks and tells the story. Around that, they actually filmed and showed the story that he was telling.
They staged to tell the story as a regular fiction movie, but it cuts from these moments that he's gonna go sing in the stage. He's gonna go talk a little bit about the stage, and I think did it really well because it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like I've seen stuff like that before, and it feels like too much or it's like force. This time, I think it worked really well.
It was. It made it, I think, very engaging. The whole going back and forth, and maybe partly because I don't really know a whole lot about Jonathan Marshall. I'd never seen or even listened to the entire soundtrack of Tick Tick Boom or Rent. So I really didn't know what was coming. But I found it really, it was interesting, it was engaging, and there are a lot of threads to follow, a lot of layers in this story. We see what's happening with his friends and that whole theme of running out of time, and it's just like heartbreaking. But then we also see his struggle and this dilemma of like, how long do you follow your dreams, like, and wondering like what would have happened if because he had a really good reason. After 8 years of working on Superbia, everyone said like, okay, well, that was great, let's see what you do next. Like, nothing happened with it. Nobody would have blamed him for saying, okay, that's it on my musical theater writing dream, I'm gonna go work in advertising or whatever. And so seeing him like struggle with that, but then knowing that he went on to make Rent, that was such like an important and transformative piece for broader. Anyway, it was just really beautiful.
So the movie,
and I loved it, and the music was great.
The movie was directed by Manuel Miranda, that has been doing Broadway with Into the Heights and Hamilton, and I guess as Sondheim was involved in the production, he helped with some details. And he has a cameo. You hear him on the what's it called?
The answering machine.
Answering machine.
Yeah.
He died a couple weeks before the premiere of the movie, just like Larson.
Just like Larson.
Anyways, so as Broadway enthusiast, Lin-Manuel Miranda put stuff in the movie that like there's a scene in the. Not only one scene, actually. Pretty much everybody that you see a face coming or walking behind, it's someone that did someone on Broadway, and some people that did big things on Broadway. There's a scene in the diner that he's talking about Sunday morning.
Sunday brunch.
And we see a lot of people in the diner expecting among the people that sing and show up there. There's people, the guy that was a Phantom of the Opera for many years on Broadway, the girls from Hamilton, it's Bernadette, what's the bucket?
Bernadette Peters.
We see the original cast from Rent. So there's a lot of references and cameos and homages there that, if you don't know, it's just gonna see a bunch of people singing. But if you wanna get details, you can Google.
This is definitely one worth looking, just to see like it kind of like adds a whole lot, like helps you understand like the legacy and the importance of who this guy is and what he contributed. In such a short time.
Yeah, of course, Manuel Miranda also has his father on a cameo and one scene. So it's all in himself, of course, yes. And it's all in that group, that cultural circle, that family, and the homage themselves, and to show a little bit of love to that guy.
So Tick Tick Boom, it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, and Andrew Garfield does it really well. In the beginning, I thought it was like, this is not convincing. Well, first I didn't know the guy. I didn't know the guy, and I don't know. He's like his body language, his stuff. It was like I think he was kind of forcing, but then I was getting used to it. I was like, okay, I see. It's not a caricature. Is it? I don't know. I still don't know the guy, but I think at the end it worked really, really well.
It did. It took me a minute too. Not because of his like affectations, but because of I just kept seeing Spider-Man. Because Andrew Garfield, rundown apartment, New York City. That's Spider-Man. But very quickly got past that. And Weren't you saying like he spent like a year in voice lessons?
Yes,
learning to sing for this. Totally paid off.
To get the role, he worked a year, and with COVID, he probably had plenty of time.
Yeah, but like that investment, like that kind of love, it really shows, and I think this, they created a movie that's well worth seeing. And
he got nominations everywhere. He just got nominated for SAG, and the movie got other nominations too.
Yeah, they totally deserve it. It was great. So it's PG-13, it's on Netflix. Watch it, and you will be happy that you did. You want to talk about the Golden Globes?
Yes, the Golden Globes had their ceremony. Oh, wait. There wasn't ceremony. But you could watch. No, you couldn't watch. So the Golden Globes.
So they had a private ceremony with somebody?
No press, no stars. I guess someone stood up and read the results to a camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or posted on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Anyways, so they announced their winners, and there was, I don't know, The Power of the Dog got a lot of praise and won Best Movie.
It won Best Drama Motion
Which against Dune.
Yeah.
King Richard.
Coda. We haven't seen Belfast yet.
Belfast.
I have a hard time believing that Power of the Dog was better.
But I don't think it was not even better than Belfast. And we didn't see it. But it was directed by Kenneth Branagh, and that one was for me was like really. But Spielberg won.
He won for musical or comedy.
Yeah.
I would rather have seen it go to Tick Tick Boom, just because Tick Tick Boom is like it's actually something that's new versus a remake. But Spielberg did a great job, and he deserves everything. Will Smith won for King Richard.
Not a surprise, because he was really good on it. We didn't see Denzel yet. It comes out tomorrow.
Okay.
Javier Bardem, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but I don't think it was better than Will Smith, because Will Smith becomes Richard, whatever his name is.
Yeah. No, it was good. So, yeah, well deserved, but especially in that category, he should be proud of that.
Yeah, at least they didn't give to Cumberbatch, which actually I thought it would be okay, because if anything on the Power of the Dog is the Cumberbatch does a really good job.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's true. He is not the problem with that movie.
Yeah.
It's just a weird script. But anyway, Succession won for TV series.
Succession is getting the awards for HBO. As usual, HBO always have a big show to grab the awards, and this time it's Succession.
They invest a lot in these shows, and it really pays off. They make good stuff. Nicole Kidman won for her role as Lucille Ball in Being the Ricardos. And
in this one, I in the beginning I had the same feeling I had with Andrew Garfield and Tick Tick Boom. It's like, but when the movie ends, it's Lucille Ball. It's not Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, which is really something. It's hard to see past a face as familiar as Nicole Kidman, but yeah, she pulled it off. Also, whoever did her makeup. Amazing. Rachel Ziegler won for West Side Story. So this is the young ingenue who played Maria. So that's kind of a big deal to win a Golden Globe off your first role. Yeah,
especially when it's for let's call it remake, right? There's nothing new about it. And she beat Emma Stone for Cruella, Marion Cotillard for Annette, Alan Haim for Licorice Pizza, and Jennifer Lawrence from Don't Look Up.
Yeah, that's quite a lineup.
Yeah, but again, well, it's election, is political. Maybe it was lobby. Maybe it was
undermine her.
I'm not undermining her. I'm just saying that because they created this standard, they undermine their nominations and their winners. So. Yeah.
I suppose, but I will say her performance, I thought she was stunning as Maria, and I think all that mess aside, I think she deserves an award for what she did. Power of the Dog also won for supporting actor. Cody Smith McPhee, he was the Kirsten Dunst's son.
Weird kid.
Andrew Garfield won for Tick Tick Boom.
I mean, that's who he was going
He was up against DiCaprio, Peter Dinklage for Cyrano.
We didn't see Cyrano. I'm excited to see it. But again, since it's an election, since it's a voting, there's I know that some people vote, how the movie affect them, and some people vote because how society is seeing it. And Cyrano would not have that power because he's not out.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
All right. Jane Campion won Best Director for Power of the Dog.
But again, Part Doggy, you know how I feel. I said it. It's I don't think it's.
We've been there, but hey, it's okay.
She beat who? She beat Kenneth Branagh,
Denis Villeneuve, Maggie Gyllenhaal for Lost Daughter.
Gyllenhaal, Lost Daughter was no. I mean, I would say their two would be in the bottom. Against Branagh, and I didn't see Belfast, Branagh, Villeneuve for Dune, and Spielberg. Yeah. But, again, election.
I could see West Side Story. I would have been fine to see that one directing.
Yes.
A directing Golden Globe over a Best Picture. Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, we have to see Belfast.
I just don't understand.
Because if anything... Dune should not be underestimated like this against the Power of the Dog. No, that was
incredible. Yeah. That movie was so good. Branagh did win Best Screenplay for Belfast. Let's see. Oh, Ariana DeBose won Best Supporting Actress as Anita in West Side Story. She was incredible. Encanto won Animated Feature Film. In our house, I'm the one who's asking to watch Encanto all the time. I watch it when the kids aren't here. It's so good. It's so good.
I have to see it.
You really do. It's so good. Jeremy Strong won for Succession. Jason Sudeikis won for Ted Lasso. Kate Winslet won for Mayor of Easttown.
And that one was no, it was easy. Yeah, I guess these other ones. Yeah.
Either way, one of the supporting actors, Oh Young-soo won for his supporting role in Squid Game. This has been like a life changer for him. He doesn't actually have an agent, so he's had like his grandkids taking calls. He's getting so many calls. He's like, I don't know, 90, and his whole career is just blown up.
And this one was a big one because he beat Culkin on Succession, Goldstein on Ted Lasso, Mark Duplass on Morning Show that had a great season, and Billy Crudup on Morning Show. Yeah. So, yeah. But again, the whole election, the whole house society, it's like Squid Game had this, it was a media phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely did influentiate people, especially because Netflix is still on the top of the streaming wars, so going against Apple TV, I was like, even though those guys are really good, the impact of Netflix and that show on how people see things when they talk about what was the best, what was one of the best shows of streaming this year, who was the supporting role characters. I was like, oh yeah, that old guy, definitely, so
Michael Keaton won for his role in Dope Sick. Which makes me very happy.
Yeah, it's undeniable, especially because everybody else was great, but Oscar Isaac, that's a remake, so it's always tough to nab a winning from a remake. Paul Bettany on WandaVision, I don't think it was that.
The guy's a great actor, but WandaVision, it wasn't that good.
It's not big league.
It's not a Golden Globe show.
Yeah. And The Serpent I didn't see.
No.
Yeah.
But still, Michael Keaton was one of my favorite parts of Dope Sick. And that series was
that's
amazing.
The reason why we saw Dope Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw him on it, I was like, okay, you have to watch it.
I was interested in the story.
The story was good, but the story came after.
But yeah,
when they saw the poster, see Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch this. And then it turns out to be really good. And not only because of him, because the story and how it was done. Yeah,
that is a really, I think that's an important series to see. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to watch, but it's
available on Hulu.
Okay. Yep. All right, so I shouldn't put my phone down. That's really on our whole list of things. Whole bunch of other awards got given out. We won't bore you with the whole list, but as usual, somewhere.
It's online if you want to see. If you don't bother looking for hosts or jokes, or because there was none.
Yeah, and honestly, my favorite thing about award shows are red carpets because pretty dresses and fashion statements, and then just let's find out who won.
Yeah.
So.
But the Oscars announced this week that they will have a host this year. In the past 3 years, they didn't have a host.
Yeah.
So this year we have a host. Maybe just a host. We don't know. But yeah.
I feel like at this point I just like don't even care. Like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
This is the least important thing in the world.
I mean, considering that if you have Power the Dog there. Let's see, because in the Golden Globes they split in drama, in movie, in musical or comedy movie. So they split in two categories. In the Oscars, all of these gonna have to go together. So you're gonna have Belfast. You're gonna have I guess Power of the Dog. You're gonna have Tick Tick Boom.
Probably West Side Story.
Dune. West Side Story.
Dune,
yeah. I guess
those are probably the biggest.
They might not have room for stuff like King Richard, which again gonna cause the whole the Oscars too white and the whole thing. Oh, they might, but King Richard might not get best movie, but definitely might get best actor. Don't Look Up might get into the writing too. I guess writing is the same as the Golden Globe because it's in one category. Or is it two? No, I can't remember. No, it's two different ones, right?
Yeah.
Same musical or comedy, and
which is something I like about the Golden Globes. Like it gives a little more room for other kinds of stories to get recognized and other kinds of acting and all that.
Yeah.
By
sometimes they screw
categories.
up that. Sometimes the movie that non-musical comedy gets into the musical comedy.
Because again, the whole like politics and campaigning and marketing and all that stuff. But what are you gonna do?
But there's a joke. Like that doesn't make it come. Anyways.
Okay. Some sad news. Impractical Jokers, is getting kind of upended a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not a joke. Gatto is leaving the crew.
Yeah, and from what I've read, which is not a lot, but from what I read, it seems like this is a really good decision. He's splitting. He and his wife are getting a divorce, which is just really sad. And so he's leaving the show so that he can be really invested in his kids and just dealing with this whole process, which seems like a good, solid, healthy decision.
Yeah.
So all the best and all that to him and his family.
Hopefully he will get better and he will get back because, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, but they've already talked about how they might be doing now with him gone, maybe doing a different format. The show will go on. But anyway.
How'd the show go on? We taught him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who also split was Jason Momoa and Celine Bonet.
Yeah.
Celine?
Nope. Oh, shoot.
Clarice Bonet?
No. Lisa Bonet.
Bonet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a sad one, too.
Sad. Moving on.
All right. Let's talk about some announcements.
COVID impact. Omicron impact. Omicron sounds like the bad guy on the Transformers.
Transformers, yeah.
What's his bucket? Megatron.
Yeah.
I am
it's
Megatron.
Yeah.
Anyways, impacts of Omicron is closing like several musicals on Broadway. Like a lot of stuff has been closed and shut down and postponed and canceled, suspended.
Which is gonna be so soul crushing because Broadway just got back.
Yeah. They
barely got started. Oh man, I would.
Yeah. But in the movie industry, Pixar announced that Turning Red will skip theaters, so will not get a theater release, not a what they call it, wide release. It might have like some special screenings here and there, but like very, very limited. But at this point, they not even guarantee that they're gonna get streaming release on Disney Plus.
And Disney Plus and Pixar are big enough that they can pull this off, and it'll be fine, I think. But not all is dark and gloomy. A bunch of shows are getting renewed. Morning Show is coming back for a third season with a new showrunner.
Yeah, the show got a lot of nominations, and it's good. Even though second season wasn't, I don't know, it was. Anyways, it still works. So we're gonna get another season.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Grey's Anatomy is the show that will never die. That's right, they've even outlived Supernatural. It got renewed for a whopping season 19.
Wow.
Oy.
How many seasons has ER?
10, I think.
That's it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it beat ER in the butt a long time ago.
It did, yeah. Yeah, and both are like really sort of culturally defining medical dramas. But anyway.
I mean, we know from General Hospital they went for what, 70 years or so. I guess it makes drama with, special people, doctors who aren't doing saving lives.
Yeah, it's a good formula. Like, yeah, you have relationship drama and then like medicine, save patients, and there's just like a lot of emotional highs to get from all of that.
Yeah.
I'm an ER girl myself, but I've watched my fair share of Grey's. Emily in Paris is coming back for seasons 3 and 4. So good for you, Lily Collins.
Quantum Leap is getting a reboot, so it will probably, so far as we know, not the team that's gonna get into the Quantum Leap. What's it called? Reactor or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. I never actually watched the show.
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes. I mean, more than a couple, and it's fun.
Yeah, it seems
interesting.
Well liked, and cool. Do we know anything about who's playing?
No,
Scott
it's
Bakula's
early.
Okay. Disney Plus is working on a Real Steel series.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
How you know? You don't remember, but no. Is that Hugh Jackman movie with Evangeline Lilly?
Yes.
Where
like the big robot
it's
boxer.
like Rocky robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Rocky for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. They're also somebody is working on a Oliver Hepburn biopic for Apple.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
With Rooney Mara, I honestly thought it should be her sister. I think Rooney, I don't know. I think Kate Mara would look better, but okay, we'll see. Rooney does act decently well as well. And
You're playing the part.
Kinda looks, or she might look, the magic of movies. Yeah.
And they're getting better and better at that, like transforming actors without obvious prosthetics, like we've seen in these last few biopics and things that that makeup artists and effects artists are getting better at transforming actors without making it obvious that we slapped a fat suit on and like some cheekbones or whatever.
Yeah. So according to her, makeup artists suck. Used to suck,
I'm
right?
saying it's really hard to change somebody's face and make it look natural, and they're getting better at that, and just kudos.
Anyways,
everybody.
Quick ones. Red Notice is gonna get a sequel and a third installment announced for Netflix.
Okay.
Pluto might come back as a planet, and what was the other one? With Nexstar buying CW, there's rumors that CW might lose original content and focusing on local stations, programming, and stuff that they already made, reruns that they already do quite a bit.
Yeah.
And what else?
That's all I can think of.
Yeah, that was something
this week.
Yeah.
Was it a movie? Was it a show? Was it entertainment news?
It was probably a movie or a show.
That's most of what we talk about.
Yeah. But
did I send you anything? I can't remember anything else, but I can't remember anything ever, so
it's okay.
Oh well.
And I guess that's it for this week.
Okay.
I see you next week. When are we gonna see? I don't know what we're gonna see next week.
I don't know either.
Because it's not.
We've seen most of the movies that are out now.
And it's not close enough to say I know. But we're
I'm
gonna see
excited about that
stuff,
one.
and we're gonna come back to talk
Yeah.
about it. And
Don't you worry.
And yeah, I'm stalling to try to see if I remember what was the other
Okay.
one.
Well, in the
But-
meantime, stay safe, stay well,
Yeah. May the
like,
force be with
comment,
you.
subscribe, yes. Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.